Okay, so I think this is a pretty good time to allow this video, considering that just recently, Boruto opened his right eye, and it was not what a lot of people expected. And then everyone went on their rant online, talking about how the Jougan was filler all this time, not knowing the truth. In this video, we're gonna go over exactly how Boruto is gonna get his Jougan, because I can assure you, this chapter just marked the beginning of something special. So before we hop into it, I want to kindly ask you guys to leave a quick like and hype the video so it can reach even higher heights in the YouTube algorithm. And I'm pretty sure you guys can hear it. I am a little sick, so excuse me if I sound a little bit congested. I just started feeling better, at least good enough so I can start recording again for you guys. So yeah, I apologize. But other than that, enjoy the video. So I made countless videos on the Jougan eye, the pure eye, whatever you want to call it. So I doubt this would be too different from those videos, but one thing that we can basically confirm now that we couldn't before Boruto showed us his byakugan is that this eye is going to have to be awoken through abnormal means. Meaning it's not something that Boruto is just going to get because he has the right genes. It's something that originally did not belong to him, but something happened that caused him to awaken such power. Now I'm pretty sure that much was obvious. At first, I thought that too, but I constantly been seeing people talk about how they thought once Boruto opened up his eye, the Jougan would just magically be there. And that was never the case. You can go back to how many videos you want. You won't find a clip of me saying that the Jougan is already in Boruto's right eye. It was always the byakugan. Ikimoto even showed us that back during part 1. Ever since he lost his right eye, there was nothing in that eye. It doesn't exist anymore, unless he activated his karma. We even see when the Jougan was first shown to us, it only manifested when Boruto's karma was activated, meaning it's not something he can completely awaken and use freely without the power of the karma. So Momoshiki will actually assist Boruto in awakening the Jougan, and I think it all starts with their deal. You see, at the beginning of chapter 29, Ikimoto made us revisit the deal between Boruto and Momoshiki, where Boruto offered up his body in exchange for Momoshiki's immense Otsutsuki power. At first, we all thought it was a trap for Momoshiki. Perhaps he would try and deceive Momoshiki out of his power without holding up his end of the bargain or something like that. But in this chapter, we learned that we were all wrong. In fact, Boruto told Momoshiki that even he knew how serious he was. They both shared the same thoughts. So in all hindsight, there's really no point in them lying to each other, because they could both see through their own deception. So this conversation was brought back up to let us know that Boruto is telling the truth. He's not joking around. He actually means to give Momoshiki his body once this is all said and done. Once this happened, I already knew the direction Ikimoto wanted to go regarding the Jougan. This confirmed that the Jougan is truly endgame, meaning after the Shinju are defeated and Jura is finally gone, because that's when Momoshiki has earned the right to Boruto's body. So it's only after this where we can start those talks back up. Referencing Tonari's hypothetical role in the Jougan awakening, he mentioned how his eye was the star of hope against destruction that will eventually come to pass. And when I think about this destruction, I can't help but think about Momoshiki. He might be the cause for all of this destruction. And I know what you're thinking. I too used to think the cause of this destruction would be the Shinju. I mean, it's not like they aren't capable of this level of destruction, right? They're the big bad antagonists of the story, stronger than the likes of Jigen and Code, at least in terms of pure raw power. So if they wanted to, they would have no problem causing this massive amount of destruction. But thinking a bit more on the situation, the Shinju is not what Tonari meant by destruction. In fact, Jura actually shuns on destruction, especially in Konoha, because he's a man of great morale. He doesn't needlessly destroy, and oddly enough, the rest of the Shinju are going to follow this way of thinking because of their great fear of Jura. And plus, at the rate the Shinju are being defeated, I don't see this great destruction being achieved because of them anyway. Unless more Shinju are just born from them making too many mistakes, the age of the Shinju is already coming to an end. And once Jura is defeated, it'll be the end of that no matter how you look at it. The plan is to single out Jura to the point where he has no comrades to back him up. You single him out by exterminating the Shinju one by one without Jura interfering in the fights. So this is why you fight Mamushi in Konoha, because it's the only time you can fight freely without the threat of Jura showing up. So long story short, the Shinju is not the cause of this great destruction that Tonari speaks of, and I think we can go ahead and confirm that. So that leaves Momoshiki as the prime suspect, mostly because he's the only threat that's still capable of causing or being the root of destruction of this magnitude. Now returning back to the beginning of chapter 29, Momoshiki told Boruto something before he gave him power. He told him that once the divine trees are eradicated, Kawaki will come and try to kill him. Then Momoshiki said he wouldn't let that happen. It wouldn't be as easy as that, because once he's free, he'll dispose of Kawaki in a blink. That means when this is all said and done, and when Momoshiki gets Boruto's body, he will instantly look into killing Kawaki. Sort of like, I'll get him before he gets me. You see, I believe this is the cause of this destruction that Tonari speaks of. The catalyst that will eventually cause Boruto to awaken the Jougan. You see, since Momoshiki can't technically fully resurrect anymore thanks to Kawaki, the only way for Boruto to give Momoshiki his body is for him to just allow him to take over without any restraint. And Boruto will just sit in a corner of his own psyche for all eternity. Sort of just like Boruto swapping places with Momoshiki. Now this is going to cause some problems, because with Momoshiki on the loose, we don't know what he's going to do with his freedom. I thought Boruto would include some conditions to the deal, like telling Momoshiki that he would have to leave Konoha and the rest of the planet alone once he's free. Simply go back to where he came from, or at least not try and kill anyone, at the bare minimum. But it looks like he made no such agreement. So Momoshiki can just go and do anything once he's free. And he already said he got his eye on Kawaki as soon as he's free. So already, that's a fight we will hope to see in the near future. Kawaki versus Momoshiki Part 2. Actually, let me know if you guys want a video on that specifically. I'd be happy to make that happen for y'all, you know, as soon as I get better. But anyway, this fight is already destined to happen sooner or later. And that could be the reason for this destruction that Tonari speaks of. So technically, Kawaki is the one who will bring upon this destruction, but Momoshiki is the one who will initiate it. Which is why it's so important not to let Kawaki find out about this deal that Boruto made with Momoshiki. Because eventually, it's possible it would bring upon this destruction, and faster than we all realize. Now, where does the Jougan come into all of this? Now that we learned all about how this great destruction could indeed be a result of Kawaki and Momoshiki, how does the Jougan relieve all of this unnecessary destruction? Now, like I said, the Jougan is something that initially Boruto did not possess. Its origin is from external sources, meaning the potential to awaken it was given to him. And in the anime, it was Tonari who had given him the opportunity to awaken it. I see it like this. While Boruto is sitting in his own consciousness, while Momoshiki is in full control of his body, it makes for a good chance for Boruto to go through some great character development, which could entail anything which starts from Boruto's relationship to the Otsutsuki, or the revealing of Boruto's true prophecy. Because remember what Tonari said, your eye will probably guide you to the light that will dispel darkness. After much brainstorming, I really think this darkness that Tonari speaks of is in fact Momoshiki. He is the darkness that Boruto is going to have to dispel in order for him to regain his body. And this awakening could be the result of this wish made real. So it's not going to be the result of anything that Momoshiki or Boruto does that will awaken the Jougan. It'll be the result of a third party that will give Boruto this power while his soul is trapped by the darkness of Momoshiki. And all this will manifest once the deal between Boruto and Momoshiki is fulfilled. Now, this third party could be anyone. You could go in the direction of the anime and say Tonari, or even implement some manga related context and say this third party could be the will of Shibai Otsutsuki, revealing Boruto to have some secret connection to Shibai that we never knew about. If you were to ask me, I would go in the direction of Shibai to be one of the major reasons why Boruto awakens the Jougan. I find the fact that the story hadn't really did a deep dive on his character yet kind of suspicious. Sort of like his character has a deeper meaning which will give away some really important plot points and secrets. Like, how did the Otsutsuki view him? Did they like him or not? How did he become a god in the first place? Was he more of an evil Otsutsuki or a peace-seeking being like Hagoromo? You see, these questions need to be answered to really see how Shibai is involved in all of this, and how he's related to Boruto. So maybe that's something we can hope to see once Boruto is shrouded by this darkness. And that could act as a gateway for him to inherit the Jougan Eye. And judging by Tonari's words, the Jougan could be a temporary thing as Boruto battles against his biggest foe yet, fate, his own destiny. So I believe the Jougan is something that Boruto will be given. It's not to be called canon or filler yet because of this chapter, because it's obvious that it has some sort of bigger meaning that will be revealed later on in the series, whether that will be through Tonari, Shibai, or through another third-party source. And the awakening of this Jougan will be to suppress or even vanquish Momoshiki's soul permanently and save Kawaki from his own dark fate. Something that Boruto wanted to do. He never wanted this to end as brother killing brother. He wanted it to be a mere quarrel between brothers, which is why he won't let Kawaki be the one to kill him. He doesn't want him to bear that burden, which is why even if during this fight, Boruto regains control over his body, he still won't let Kawaki kill him. So the plot is already sort of given to us. This destruction is the cause of Kawaki versus Momoshiki, and in the midst of battle, Boruto must have regained control over his body through the awakening of the Jougan, which will seal the darkness surrounding his soul, which is Momoshiki. And the awakening will let Boruto confront Kawaki one more time, which is, as you see, on top of the Hokage monument. So it's very possible that we won't even see the Jougan until the very last arc of the series. Just based off the prophecy of the Jougan that Tonari foretold, it sounds like the Jougan is what's going to save the planet. It's going to allow Boruto to shoulder the fate of the world. So as it pertains to that, are you excited for what Ikimoto has in store for us? It's very likely because of this, we're going to have a dedicated arc where we learn about the Otsutsuki, their origin, and Boruto's relation to the gods of this world. What do you think his relation is? Is he actually Shibai's true vessel? Does he have an ancient descendant that links him strongly to the Otsutsuki? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video today, be sure to show some love by liking the video, subscribing, and remember to turn on those post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload, or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later. And I'm out. Peace.